So, some persons ask, why would you choose February 14th for Queen Iden's Day? It was intentional. It was intentional. Some other persons also, surprisingly, some other person also asked, we should look for the day Queen Iden was buried. Come on, that's like 400 years ago. That's like 400 years ago. How can we be able to know the exact date where Queen Iden was buried? But however, some of us are trying to be a revolutionist. We're trying to put all our ideas into practical use. So we discovered that if every other countries, if African has been so indoctrinated by the Europeans by we celebrating every single day that Europeans celebrate. We celebrate Christmas. Christmas is not our thing. We celebrate Valentine's Day. Valentine's is not our thing. We celebrate some other very, very funny days. I have never heard of the person called Valentine. I don't even know if he or she had existed. I don't even know whether he's a guy or a girl. I don't even know where that person is coming, whether the person whether Valentine existed or not. That's not my cup of tea. But the person that I know existed, I know was once a queen in Benin Kingdom, is Queen Iden. And the ultimate price that she paid is the reason why my kingdom has survived to this very moment. And that woman is Queen Iden. The sacrifices she made is likened to the biblical Jesus Christ or the Christian Jesus Christ. Why would I say that? Some people will ask, why would you say that it is to be equated to the biblical Jesus Christ? My reasons are very crystal clear. My reasons are very crystal clear. According to the Bible, Jesus Christ had to die for salvation to get to mankind. That is what the Christians believe. Don't ask me my faith, whether I'm a Christian or I'm not a Christian. But I pray to God and my ancestors. It is not important. Beliefs are personal. What is most important is for we to see ourselves as human. We are humans first before beliefs. So, Queen Iden, there was a crisis that was to tear apart Benin Kingdom forever. There has to be this one person who has to make that ultimate sacrifice. She made that ultimate sacrifice by volunteering for her to be sacrificed. Now, the concept, why there was also an argument yesterday, or some few times, and some people had had some historical debate with me that Queen Iden is not the greatest heroine from Benin Kingdom. That the greatest heroine from Benin Kingdom is Queen Idia. And I have a cause to disagree. I have a cause to disagree anytime, any day. And my disagreement is very, very personal. My disagreement is very, very personal. Queen Idia fought war for Benin. But because we are not too conversant with Benin history, she was not the first person. She was not the first woman of Benin extraction to go to war. But she was the first queen to go to war. And people will ask, who was the first woman to go to war? That's another question for another day. She fought the war because she had an interest. The interest was that her son was the king of Benin, Oba Esige. So she fought for the interest of her son's kingdom, or empire as it was then. So she had an interest. It was like someone having an interest, and she fought for that interest, which is her son, who was Oba Esige. That's why she went to war. If peradventure her son wasn't the Oba, I'm sure Queen Idia wouldn't have gone to that war. Would have or wouldn't have. One couldn't tell. But what Queen Idia did is most remarkable. She sacrificed for the future of a kingdom she had no stake in. When I mean she had no stake in, Queen Iden had no child. She was not the first wife of the Oba. She was not the second. She was not the third. She was not even the fourth. Alright? She was not even the fourth. Wilosa Lord Yari, I agree with you. The creation of Holy Arosas and all that. Arkansas actually did that. We had a branch in Calabar. We had a branch in Onitsha. They were all growing at a fast pace until the war, the civil war happened that crippled those Holy Arosas. Holy Arosas we had a branch in Calabar, Cross River. I remember we had another branch in Onitsha. So Holy Arosa was already growing until the civil war. But I think, according to your suggestion, it's also good. I have also said that Holy Arosa should grow so that we can grow the Benin religion just like every other religions are growing. So, like I was saying, Iden sacrificed for the future of the kingdom that she had no stake in. She had no stake in. So, in other words, I as a person, I'm not saying the entire Benin people should consider Queen Iden as the greatest heroine of Benin extraction. Some will say Idia, but I have just made my point. For you to allow people to sacrifice you for a future you had no stake in. Unlike Idia, Idia had a stake on the future of Benin Kingdom through her son. She was a queen mother, the first queen mother, and her son was the Oba of Benin. So she inherently protected the kingdom for her son. So, but Iden had no child of her own, but instead she volunteered to be sacrificed so that the husband would not be shamed, which was Oba Ewakbe. Like Michael Sifo, I will not tell you that. You have to consult me. I will ask you some of this knowledge, you pay for it. I'm just joking, but I'm not going to say that. See me in the corner. See me in the corner. See me in the corner. Anyway, I haven't said that. So, February 14th, Western indoctrinations, people come up and said Happy Valentine's. All types of immoralities are being conducted. All types of immorality are being conducted. And I figure out, if Valentine's sacrifice for love, according to what the Europeans told us, then Queen India sacrificed her life for the Benin people. Amongst Valentine, you don't know, I don't know. But Iden Graves is still beside Oba's Market. We know Iden is real. We know Iden, she's a woman from Oka village. Oka village at Upper Sakumba. We know she was married to Oba Wakbe. We know how she sacrificed her life for Benin Kingdom. She's real. So, what sacrifice is greater than, not the sacrifice of killing yourself for one girl. We're saying killing yourself, allowing, she was asphyxiated. You know, for some of us who understand a little bit of biology, asphyxiation. So she wasn't killed like this. She was buried alive. Alright? She paid that so much painful death for you and I. For this Benin Kingdom that we are all proud of. So I see no reason why Benin cannot set out a day for Queen Iden to be celebrated. So 2 years ago, I figured out that we must set out a day for Queen Iden to be celebrated. This is subject, I repeat, so that people don't take my words and say, some of us, we project in some of these ideas so that probably when it gets to His Majesty, he probably will approve. After we declared Queen Iden's Day, quite not like amongst the members of Association of Great Benin Descendants. Sorry, I have a call. Sorry, I had a call. So, It was declared January 12, 2019 in our press conference, where we said it is subject to the approval of the Oba of Benin. But before then, we are indulging, we are pleading, we are galvanizing to our people to look critically into our plea that instead of we to continually celebrate that which is not part of the heroism of our people, let us use the same date that the white man has used to indoctrinate us to blot out that Western indoctrination. So that's why we choose February 14th. While some other persons are chanting Happy Valentine, every proud Benin or Edo man and woman should also chant Queen Iden, because Queen Iden represents something most important, something more endearing than Valentine to us. I don't even know where Valentine is coming from. So, ladies and gentlemen, all the Edo people, I say Happy Happy Iden's Day in advance to you of February 14th. So that's why we choose February 14th. Some persons say, does it really matter? But the point is that it will matter. If we as a people right now don't appreciate what some of us are trying to do, a generation will come and will appreciate and see the reason why some of this Western indoctrination should be blotted out of our calendar, and we can start to propagate our own people. See, the society that do not recognize their heroes and heroines are bound to stagnate. If we do not recognize the heroism of Iden, of Emopolo, of Eruvi, of Eriaria, and several other great women, if we don't recognize a society, if we don't recognize the likes of Ologbose, their Aso, their Behimi, their Iyasek Benedi, and some other great heroes that have fought for this land, we are bound to stagnate. In other words, we don't have story to tell our children. Our children are not getting used to the mythological stories of the Greeks, of the Latins, and several. Yeah, the greatest queen, but she was the first queen mother to live with her son. So, these are some of these. I do not disagree with you if you say it's Iden, but I'm just imagine is otherwise saying it's Iden. But we don't have to disagree. As a matter of fact, we can choose February 14th as Iden's Day and find another day to also celebrate Iden. Because, in other words, Iden is also one of the greatest women, one of the most popular female heroine in the entire world. So I see no reason why we can't also declare another day. But the point I'm trying to drive at, Iden should be recognized, Iden should be recognized, the emotions should be recognized. We should set out a day to recognize the heroines of our land. We should also set out a day to remember the heroes of our land. We are proposing later this year to declare a day amongst ourselves, subject to the approval of the Oba of Benin. But before he approves, within ourselves, we should start finding a day to celebrate the fallen heroes of the British invasion in 1897. January 2nd, 2019. For some of you who did not see the press conference, we gave 1 minute silence to the fallen heroes of the British invasion in 1897. These were the people who put down their life to fight. Though we lost the war, but they were people who sacrificed their life for the pride of this nation. So these people cannot be forgotten, not when some of us are alive, not when some of us are still knowledgeable enough to pass the necessary information, the necessary knowledge to the future generations. It's very exhausting. Well, I will say, share the video, and let every other person come and participate, and let us all come and participate so we can critically look at iron sharpening iron. So I heard. What do they buy with red wine? Oh? So I think we're done with Queen Iden, isn't it? We're done with Queen Iden. Let's talk about the insecurity challenges. Let's talk about the insecurity challenges that's currently facing us. I was almost kidnapped a few days ago. You know, I'm into lands. I go to the bush with my surveyors to survey properties. I do CFO for lands as well. So I'm always in the bush. So we're at Iden community. For some of you who know Iden, at one there close to Bahadu our side. I was almost kidnapped. As we just left, we heard less than 2 minutes. We heard that some Fulani herdsmen kidnapped one woman or so inside the bush. What the day, man? No. Tamara Samuel. No. I'm very careful. Obaeware the second has not approved this day. He has not. What I have said is that I represent a group that I'm the leader of a particular group. Association of Great Benin Descendants. We declared amongst us that every year, February 14, we'll be celebrating Queen Iden's Day. So every other Benin person that thinks in that regard should also do the same. We're not saying it has been declared. We only declare it amongst ourselves as a group. So nobody has the authority to declare or do anything for the Edo people except the Yoruba of Benin. So I haven't clarified that. Some persons are just saying, oh my God. So in other words, the insecurity threat in Edo State is real. There is no amount of politics. There's no amount of talking. I don't engage in politics. I'm not a fan of politics at all. So when I come out to speak, I am speaking from the aspect. I've sworn to God Almighty and to my ancestors that one thing that I can never be found lacking in life, it's being able to come out publicly to speak the truth. Truth I stand for. Truth I will always maintain to the last part of my life. What I am saying is insecurity challenges is real. Every single part of Edo State are being surrounded by Fulani herdsmen. So there is no amount of guessing. This is not about whether one person in London, this is not about one person in Europe is saying all these things. We are live in Edo State. We are always touring every part of Edo State because I'm into lands. So there is no thick forest that you will not see any Fulani man. It therefore means that the Fulani people understand Edo State more than Edo people because they are in every nook and cranny of Edo. And the funny aspect of the whole thing is that the so-called elites that some of us worship, they are not concerned about it. And that is why I tell people that we have to unscrew the knot in some of the youth in Edo State. Because it's either they are totally very foolish or they are totally stupid. Everybody is chatting 4+4 Togba. The other one is chatting Egba. These things are not important of who becomes the governor of Edo State. Whether Obaseki is being retained as the next governor of Edo State or another person comes as the next governor of Edo State. These are not even important. The most important thing is the security of our lives. Nobody is even talking about the security of our lives. Nobody is talking about the Fulani herdsmen invasion in Edo land. Amotekun came out in Southwest. No, some persons are not too very conversant with the geography of Nigeria. If you are very conversant with the geography of Nigeria, you understand that Edo State is at the epicenter. Is at the very center of Nigeria. So for you to transverse any part of the country, you must follow through Edo land. So inherently, when you capture Edo State, you have been able to capture the inflow and the outflow of movement within Nigeria. So, and today we are politicizing issues that are most important. And we tell them that until any of these people, the so-called politicians, start to tell us the security plan that they have for the Edo people, they are not worth listening to, because the most important thing a government can give to its people is the security of life and properties. These are foundational issues that we must address. These are foundational issues that we must address. Not talking about who becomes the next governor, who is not going to be the next governor of Edo State. These things are not primary. These are the greed, the selfishness of our so-called elite. So the most important thing that our elite must come out publicly to address, to tell the Edo people, is how to collectively fight the real threat of these Fulani people. And it is real. These things has nothing to do with politics. It is real. Every single nook and cranny part of Edo State is being ransacked by this Fulani. And our people are not concerned. Anyway, when your villages are eventually ransacked, by the time they get to the central Benin, my brother, favor no sorrow. It has to be the only thing that every Edo man should speak on. Security, security, and security. It has to be the only thing that every Edo man must practically speak on. It's security, security, and security. Not every other thing, because we wake up one morning and see that every single houses is being occupied by Fulani. You need to see the way they are trooping in every single day into Edo. You need to see how they are trooping in every single day, and they are not collective. The point is, we are doing our best. My hands are tied. I don't sleep. As a matter of fact, in case some of you should be aware, I receive calls every minute of every day, when people have to call me of their worries, when people have to call me on what is the way forward. And I tell them, I and some other of our persons who are concerned can only do the little that we can do. Those who can really do something are not even talking about it. But the truth is that, are we to wait for them to do something, or are we to protect our own selves? These are questions that we must ask. security issues, its most paramount, should be the fulcrum of every conversation from every man of an Edo man. Inherently the entire South. Inherently the entire South. We are all just keeping quiet. No akbobo politicians. Is that these things are not. These things are not. How can people every day, the only sort of issues I hear on Facebook every day is section of the Edo youth supporting Obaseki, section of the other Edo youth going against Obaseki. But this is not even important. We are supposed to be clamoring to the present government that our lives is at stake. The security issues should be the most important thing in our day-to-day conversation. Not who becomes the next governor of Edo State. In short, the next governor of Edo State, be it Obaseki or every other person, should tell us what security plans do he or she have to secure the lives and properties of the Edo people from these Fulani people. It is most important than infrastructures. It is most important than every other thing. Security is the most important of all things. The life of the people has to be secured first before any other thing. And people are clapping. So sometimes when I look at, I had a fallout with one so-called person who calls himself barrister. I don't want to mention his name. A few days ago on Facebook page, I was trying to tell him, when politics matter is involved, that is when you get to publicly hear your opinion. But when we talk about issues that are most paramount to the lives of every Odo man, you seem to be very dumb and quiet. It is most embarrassing as a people that as of now, we've not been able to hold symposium, we've not been able to hold conferences as to the insecurity, uprising insecurity in our lands. Yet we are talking about trivial issues that has nothing to do with development of Edo. That's the primary agenda, Osama Pran. The primary agenda is security, nothing else. And everybody should be concerned. Everybody on their Facebook pages should start saying, forget about 4 plus 4. Forget about 4 minus 1 or 4 minus 0 or 4 minus 4. Forget about forget about ambition. Our concentration should be on what is the way forward. What is the way forward on security, insecurity issues in Edo State? I might not be totally correct. Now red one. Red one off here, I mean, no worry. I agree, pass, call it, go to the about, why would he, Paul Philip, do you not understand? It is not the function of the palace to call the governor on the insecurity threat. Isn't the governor aware of the insecurity threat that beckons on the Edo people every day? So it is not the job of the palace. The government is aware. In as far I don't want to get engaged or get engrossed in political matters, but the point is, the governor knows that there is insecurity threat in the lives of the Edo people. If he decides not to do anything about it, it's because he doesn't want to do anything about it. Not that he's not aware, he's aware. And as the first citizen of the Edo state, who is to protect the lives and the security of the Edo people, the onus beckons on him to do what he was voted to do. And I'm not interested who is the governor of Edo State or who becomes the next governor of Edo State. It's never, if you look at me, in the past 3 years, I don't talk about who is the commissioner, who is the governor, who is the House of Assembly. It's not my business. My business has always been to challenge, to inspire our people through the history, through the antecedents of our ancestors. It is my primary. I don't go beyond cultural, socio-cultural activities, historical affiliation, our traditional preservation. These are things that keeps me going. These are the things that inspires me. These are the things that I want to use in inspiring other people. I know government has failed the people. This time around, I'm not talking about whether it's Edo State government or whether it's Edo government, Lagos State government, or whether it's the federal government. I know that Nigeria as a country has failed. Whether you acknowledge it now, you acknowledge it in the next 10 years, you acknowledge it in the next 20 years, Nigeria as a country has failed. I do not blame Oduduwa for seeking for a sovereign nation. I do not blame Biafra for seeking for the only issue I have against Biafra. The only issue I have against Oduduwa is that as far that Oduduwa continue to stupidly and arrogantly arrogate a section of Edo and Delta into their country, I will continually to fight them. I just did a video. The video will be out tomorrow or next. I have a strong wording for Oduduwa because we saw a video that was released last week or last 2 weeks where Oduduwa crafted a map where the map reflected and showed Edo State and Delta State as part of Oduduwa Republic. And I asked them, on what basis, on what historical basis would Oduduwa have to include Edo and Delta? Is it because of the old Western, that was the old Western region that was created by the British? Or is it because of history? Because if it was because of history, the old Benin Empire simply reveals that Ondo, Ekiti, and Lagos were part and parcel of Edo land. So how come that half of the entire present-day Southwest was part of Edo land, and today the Yorubas are now telling us that Edo and Delta is part of Oduduwa? I would support Oduduwa that has sense, not Oduduwa that arrogantly arrogates lands, places that are not part of theirs. Likewise, Biafra. I will support Biafra, but Biafra has to be restricted to their 5 eastern states. 5. It has to be Abia, Ebonyi, Enugu, Anambra. What's the other one? Imo. 5. If it goes beyond that 5 eastern states, they will have a problem with some persons like us, because we have to tell them no inch of Delta, no inch of Edo, no inch of rivers, no inch of Cross River, no inch of Bayelsa, no inch of Akwa Ibom can be ceded to your country. These are issues we must address. I tell people, every day that the southern Nigeria should collectively, it is a commonality of our collective interest for the southern Nigeria to all come together, be it you are Edo, be it you are Orobo, be it you are Ijo, be it you are Igbo, be it you are Yoruba, to collectively all come together to fight this hegemonic, fraudulent country where some section of the country believe that they own the rights over other section of the country. I agree. But in doing so, we must also respect our territorial integrity. While I will speak against the Fulani herdsmen or the Fulani agenda, I should also speak against the Igbo agenda. I should also be able to speak against the Yoruba agenda, because it is clear the Fulani has an agenda against the southern part of Nigeria. The Oduduwa has an agenda against the Edo people. The Biafra also have an agenda against the south country. So these are the issues that while I am addressing one, I must address the second, and I must address the third. I'm not going to give preferential treatment to one and stop talking about the other. I was talking to someone today about the Enoge. I was talking about the Enoges, the Enigi in Edo State. I was talking about the Enigi, most especially in Edo South. We were just discussing today some persons came to the house, and I was telling them one fundamental thing. That why did the Oba of Benin in the old created dukedoms? Why did what's in Oba na ye nige yevu? In that, we will also address them. We're not going to address the Urobos. Mary, I'm also Iden. We're not going to address Urobo as strangers. They are part of us. But we're going to tell them that you cannot take any part of Edo land. Cannot take any part of Edo land. But be that as it may be, we must address some critical issues. Let me first of all talk about Enigi. How disappointed I am to some 90% or even 95% of the so-called Enigi. I usually don't talk about issues like this, but it has come to an extent of also that we have to speak out. Why did what's in Obana here Enoge Yevo? So that an Enoge should be able to take care of his dukedom, should be able to provide solutions to the problems that affect, should be able to affect the lives and the people, protection of the security, should be the eye of the Oba in those areas. But today, almost all the Nigi in Edo land, they are all in Benin City. Ask me, what are they doing in Benin City? Is that the place, is that their dukedom? I'm not going to categorically. I was in a meeting where an Enoge, highly respected, said, why would I be in the village? I don't understand. Have you been? I was being told that when you pass Udo, about 6-7 communities, it's no longer a Edo community, has been ravaged by every other ethnic nationalities that have taken claim of those places. It's either the community people, they have all traveled to Libya, or they are in Benin City. Why? I had an extensive meeting with some of my uncles who are quite wealthy last week, and I told them that the moment they fish Yekoriomo Road, Why would I spend 1 million naira? Why would I spend my community is Igbewe at Iyekoreon. Why would I spend 1 million naira, 2 million naira to go and buy a land in Ohoromi, another person's community, when my community is about 30 to 45 minutes drive to Benin? When you are in Lagos, you spend 3-4 hours on the road before you get to the place of your work. When from my village to Benin is less than 45 minutes drive. So all I need is if I need 20 plots of land for the community, for my community to assign to me to build my house, they will gladly give it to me. So I was telling my uncle that it is waste for me to buy a land 2-3 million in another person's community, while my community is just 30-35 minutes drive from Benin. Let me build my house in my community, and let me from my community daily be coming to Benin City to do my job and drive back. We will leave our respective communities and shock Benin. What nonsense. How do you not expect that your community and the onus? The biggest problem of this thing lies in the hands. Thank God say I not get. Thank God say a no not in my community. Say a no of my community will come out for your own community. What's it called? Odo total edo. What we do? Ewa not a nogi. So some of these issues are very foundational. If a nogi truly were staying in their locality, in their dukedom, they will be able to constantly bring news of what is happening to the Oba. Because Enoges were assigned the primary purposes that Oba of Benin created dukes was for them to be their eye, for them to be. Oba of Benin cannot be everywhere at the same time. He's not God. So he needed to create dukedoms for dukes to be able to maintain those extreme parts of his vast empire, so that they can give him report at every time that these are some of the issues. These are the reasons why Oba of Benin created dukedoms. And today we no longer have people that are taking up to the responsibility, but they are the one telling us that a nogi of what? A nogi of a community that stays in Benin. Why are you not a nogi? It's so America. They don't come to their dukedom. Maybe they'll just come once in 5 years. It's already London, it's already Europe. Why should it be a nogi? If that seat as they take base seat in the world, you reneged it, give it to another person who understands what an enoge should be. Every enoge should go back to their community and total, so that they can be able to. Enoge na yare community na TV whatever. Hey, fulani deo gagbo ya do ko boku gbe na ya do level. We will be able to come together na ya do level. But the issue is in a total in Benin City. These are some of the insecurity issues that we must continually address. So I'm pleading to every single Edo man. We have a problem. Insecurity issues. These insecurity issues must be addressed critically. These insecurity issues is the most important discussion that every Edo man must rise up to discuss. Forget about 4+4 Togba. Those guys are only interested in their pockets and not the preservation of our lives. If they are interested in preservation of our lives, they should be able to comment and hold conferences, seminars, symposium, whatever, to roll out architectural structures. We had governors in Yoruba land. Let me quote one. Fire me. He said, even if I don't get my second term, he said, what is most important is the security of the life of my people. Are these not people? The people who are coming out. People who are saying that the most important thing that they must address as a people is the security of his people. He's not interested in second term. Are those not governors? Now we must address critical issues. Security. We must ask the present government of Edo State, what are his plans for the security? Wabazigan is a child's play. We are talking about local vigilantes. We have to channel. Now we have people, Edo people that kill themselves for free, or in the name of Ononara, they kill themselves for free. If we properly channel these aggressive minds of these Edo people into proper use, these insecurity challenges will not last for 1 year. Yet, these people who we could construct their minds, who we could recalibrate their minds to fight the right cause, these same politicians that Nwakbobona are the ones using themselves to kill themselves. Every Edo man must know that an Edo life is sacred. An Edo man that takes any other Edo man's life is doomed for life. Edo, Anaya Bitan Edo, Arie do Zesi. Let me not go to that miseries of Emanirie do Zesi, Now we now have an Edo man who brags about taking another Edo man's life. Why can't we recalibrate the minds and say that Edos are not Edo's enemy? We have a common enemy, the Fulani. It's either we fight or we submit. Two things happened against the British invasion in 1897. We knew they had more weapons. The Oloboseres of that era, the Abehimi of that era, the Oba Hawaii of that era, they knew that they had more superior weapons. But they said, Teta awuyo. Ewogimana hina. Onwawe edore no dwa teme no se hotedu. Those people fought gallantly, knowing fully well that they were doomed to lose the war, but they fight. Now this is a war we can easily win. But my belief in the name of courtesan. As a Benin man and woman, every single community is being taken from us. We must start finding practical ways to reclaim everything that has been taken from us. As at present now, in case you guys are not aware, we don't even own the economic what do I call lifeline of Edo State. We are here at New Benin, we are here New Lagos Road, we are here having Mission Road. If you do it, if you born here, so in other words, we are not even in charge of our state anymore. We are not even in charge of our state anymore. See, our problem is extremely huge, very huge, and we're not talking about it. All I hear on social media is news, celebration, party. They're always from one party to the other, No wala. Dania, a party ni Ogbanowa women. Party. We have issues, critical issues that we must address as a people. We are not concerned. We are docile. Every other ethnic groups are strategizing on how to push their ethnic ideology forward. But our own, we are just mute. But of a burial or marriage or whatever, things, frivolous activities, trivial activities, these are issues that we are most important, that we give more time. Now, what will party bring to the survival of your people? How would your party elevate the common Edo man? There are things I would love to talk about. There are things I would love to talk about. There are things I would love to talk about. For example, let me talk about communal activity. In the old Benin, there's something that was most important. Anayata. Edoya bitan orion by ZUWA. That is, the old Benin believes in the collectivism of putting ideas together to collectively be wealthy. But right now, over over 100 Edo Maya Bovoy. That means at one point in time in Benin, we understood on the power of unity, common purpose, be it on security matters, be it on wealth creation, be it on economic power. These are things, they understand the power of collectivism. But today, and people are asking, why is Edo not great again? We cannot be great again because some of this, I tell people, what made the old Benin great? What made old Benin great was not because of, how do you put it? Was not because of the moat that was dug during the time of Obaogwola or during the time of Obaiwa the First. It was not the amount of wars that was fought and won. It was not the amount of artistic prowess that we had. This was not the things that made Benin great. The things that made Benin great was because of the ethics and value, the morality that worked, that beckoned on the society of Benin. These were the things that made Benin great. These ethics and values are being shredded every single day. These ethics and values are being shredded every single day. Now we see people coming out on social media to talk about immoralities, and these same people have followers, and those followers are Edo people, where people talks about vaginas and penis, and people still follow them. People talks about toggery, and they still have fans. These are against the morality institution that built Benin. I have said this in countless times. These are the things that are constantly eluding us. And today, our mothers and our fathers send our children to overseas to prostitute. These were never part and parcel of the ethics and values and the principles of an Edo man. And these things is completely almost gone in our society. And that is why we are like this as a people. A society where the parents no longer ask their children their source of wealth cannot grow. So the problem is, we have a very big problem, very huge. We have a very big problem, and it's very, very huge. Ogbemuda Stephanie, mind it work Benawodo. Mary Europe, Meredoma. Mewafeko, ma. You could in the Vietnam, yeah, I'm red one. Amen. I did work Benawodo, but however, Wafeko. The nuisance that I wake up every single day seeing different types of an Edo person. Their stupidity is not what amazes me, as a matter of fact. Their stupidity is not what amazes me, as a matter of fact. It is our people, their followers. That is what amazes me. Now, haven't you noticed that? Haven't you noticed that when you put out an educative video as an Edo man to enlighten the minds of an Edo person, if you're doing running, any sort of nonsense that I cannot even mention publicly. I'm not saying I'm righteous, but one of the important factors of every Edo man is their comportment in public. There are things that I cannot say in public. There are things I cannot say in public. There are things I cannot say in public. So the point is, we should tell ourselves the truth. We have to start thinking smartly. Why are we envious? Why are we jealous of ourselves? So another Benin man prospering. Why shouldn't you be happy for that Benin man? Why shouldn't you go to that Benin man to be able to help you, to assist you to also grow, instead of finding every possible ways to bring that Edo man or Edo woman down? If you do Egenedema Bovegbe, Imawazi Okugbeya, Yanyusi. Imawazi Okugbe, we're discussing Edona ha, Oruomba, Eze Iyo, Owuwa. It is not only one person that is meant to discuss the ideas of wealth. People can collectively come together and say, okay, 100,000 Edo people are unemployed. Let 20 of us come together. I have 100,000. You have 200,000. You have 300,000. Let 20 of us collectively come together. Instead of building a hotel cannot be able to employ more than 20 persons. Let us bring our resources together. We can be able to have 20 million. Let's create an industry. An industry can be able to employ more than 500 to 1,000 Edo persons. In all of this, some Edo have to step up to be able to help other Edo people. We are presently compiling. I have a friend, I don't want to mention his name because it will indict him. I've asked him to compile lists of all the aeroplane lines airlines in Edo State. Are you aware that Arik or whatever, different airlines in Edo State Airport, less than 5% of the workers in Edo State Airport are Benin people? If you go, if you Hausa, if you Yoruba, on your airports not ready. So in other words, we are practically allowing foreigners to come to our land to take the jobs from our very table. And people are not thinking towards this line. They are all interested in politics. Sometimes, even in one-on-one, sometimes I'll try and fix this, I'm trying to fix this, I'm trying to fix this, I'm trying to fix this. It's like the entire weight of the kingdom is upon my shoulders, and it's really very heavy. Because when you want to try and tackle a problem, you know that there are other 1,000 problems that needs to be tackled. And when you try to tell other people, Benin people, who try to say, instead of doing this, why not do this? And I try to tell them that I have decided to do this. Why can't you also come and fix this problem? Because the problem that are facing us as a people is not just one, it's not two, it's not three, it's not 10, it's not 20. Anyway, I'm rounding up now. Wherever you are, understand that our ancestors were able to build a civilization that was envied by the entire world by the power of collectivism. That our ancestors were able to build a formidable empire. Until we start to understand the power of unity, we will not be able to get it right. Benin people, Edo people must come together to ask, to chart a possible future, not individually, but collectively. We must straight away all forms of jealousy, all forms of jealousy. We must do away all forms of not being united. That is the only way. The power of collectivism. The power of collectivism. In my last video, I talked about Isan's and Benin relationship. So I want to thank all of you. I hope that everything that I've said made sense to some of our persons, and I hope I've been able to tell our people that we are our own enemies, and it is not proper that an Edoma Agbove or Yedoe. It is not proper. It is not proper. Just like Jolly Odionoko I just said, we have to start very quickly. Time is of the essence. So please, I want to thank all of you. Like, before I quickly go, if you know that you are a leader in any of the registered Edo association in any of the European countries, whether you're in Spain, whether in Germany, whether in Finland, whether in France, whether in Italy. If you're not in one of those Edu unions, please, I really would want to. I want to reach out to you so we can talk, because there's something that we really need to talk about. We have a plan for June. Something very big is coming on by June. I'd like to talk to any of those registered Edu unions in any of these countries. And so if you're a member of those executives, if you're members of those executives in any of those Edu unions in any of these European countries, please reach out to me. Reach out to me, and I'll be more than very excited for us to talk. And my Facebook name is Imaswen Izoduwa. Akboko. But I think you should tell me your real name, Akboko na Pepe. It's my I'm drinking my own, so keep your imaginary wine to yourself. So give me real one. Red wine is good. I heard it's good for the heart. So I'm running up now. I'm running up now. So for some of us who can be able to reach out to me, and we're having a very big project for June, and I'm not going to talk about it. I'm not going to talk about it online until we've gotten to a reasonable point. So, but like I've just said, if you're any member of any of those registered Edu Union associations in any of those Edu unions in overseas, okay, I'm a member of the Edu Union. So Miriam Oshudi, if the Edu Union is registered, please let's talk. Oh, my brother Elliot Bolabi, my Ga brother, thanks for coming in, for being part of it. I think I should be in Ghana. We're planning for a trip to Ghana by end of this month or first week of March. If we are able to raise the necessary resources funds to travel down, I'll be more than happy to be able to see my Ga people once again. I'm not going to see the 6 clans this time around. We are planning to only see the Nongwa people, because we heard that the Nongwa people are more directly related to the Benin than every other clans in Ga. So yeah, I saw Siwa Osas, I saw your friend request. So if you know you're any member of the Edu Union that is registered, please reach out to me. My Facebook page is Imaswen Izodu. We're having a big plan for June. I'd like to discuss with you people, because I need someone to be able to help me do something we're planning, and we'll be very much happy. And don't forget, we're doing everything humanly possible to be able. I'm so proud of you from London, Omos Iyamo. Thank you very much, sir, and I hope to see you very soon, because we're having plans so that we can be able to have a roundtable talk. We're having plans for June and Iden celebration. Yeah, Iden celebration. Don't forget. On Friday, please, if you go do your T-shirts, go do whatever you can do, wherever you are in every part of the world. Go do your T-shirt, take a family out, cook for your neighbors, and just tell them Happy Iden's Day. And when they tell you what Iden is all about, I think I'm going to be live on Friday. By this time, by 8 p.m. No, sorry, 7:30 p.m. Nigeria time. On Friday, this Iden's Day, I'm going to be live 7:30 p.m. so that we can be able to talk about the full history of Iden, so that your children, your family can invite your family to participate in that program. It's going to be exciting. Probably we're going to open lines. We're going to open lines for people to call through, so that we can talk about the life attributes of Iden, how Iden was married, how Iden became a queen and all that, the sacrifices she made, and why we think that she should be celebrated every year. Let's talk about Iden. 14th of February 2020, 7:30 p.m. Nigeria time. Great Benin page, this same page. So let's talk about Queen Eden. It's going to be very exciting, and I'm going to be drinking a lot of red wine for that day. A lot of red wine for that day. So reach out to all your friends and families. Print Queen Eden's chef. Happy Queen Eden's Day. Tell people about the sacrifices of Queen Eden's and how Queen Eden is most important than an adult man and woman than Valentine's or every other person's out there. So I'm sure we will. Okay, thank you, Madam Tamara Samuel, to be able to reach out to someone in Sweden, to be able to reach out to me. I really would want that to happen. I really want that to happen quickly, because there's not so much time left for me to discuss with people from this Edo Union. So to discuss some of my plans. So it has, this time around, Edo people, we have to be serious minded, and on the 14th of Eden's Day, I want everybody to use Eden. If you don't know Eden statue, probably will sample Eden statue tomorrow on my page, so that everybody could just save Eden's picture, so that everybody will just display Eden. So while the whole Nigeria people are, every other Nigeria people are celebrating Valentine's, let only the Edo people, the Benin Kingdom, the Edo people celebrate Eden, so that they can really know that this is a home of tradition and culture. This is a home where we can really celebrate our heroes and our heroines. It is most important. So I love you all, and I am so grateful for some of you who are coming right now. As soon as I end this section of this exciting live video, you can always read it, you can watch it again, and please share so that you can have it very broad. I'm sure that someone out there is looking forward to hearing some of these things that I'm saying, because I come online to actually educate people, not to make noise, and that is what I represent. So I want to thank all of you who are taking time to participate in this edition of this program, and God bless all of you. And always forget, in all the things that you do, always remember that the Oba of Benin is the glue that holds all Edo man together. He is the king that we all must acknowledge his greatness and his trueness, to project the interest and only the interest of every Edo man. So I stand to defend my kingdom for the rest of my life. I stand to be subservient to my king for the rest of my life, rather than to government or to every other British calibrated ideology. My Oba, it's the only government that I recognize that truly represents the interests of his people, and not to every other government who was created by British to furtherly disunite already ancestrally connected Edo people. So I want to say a big thank you to all of you who joined us today. So my name is Imaswen Amowie Izodua, and I am that guy who is willing to do everything for the rejuvenation of our lost glory. Wayawese. Oba talk there. It's a cheers. Bye bye. I'm done.